time now for everybody's favorite guessing game, What's My Line? Brought to you by Stop-It Spray Deodorant. Poof, there goes perspiration. And Finesse, the flowing cream shampoo. Time for What's My Line? And now, let's meet our award-winning What's My Line panel. First, the distinguished lecturer, humorist.
We seem to have all gotten mixed up in the shuffle here tonight. It's my pleasure for nice things about me. It's nice for me to say a few about her.
Thank you, dear. And on my left is a gentleman who has authored a new record called Dragnet Goes to Kindergarten, and it's being played madly by record fans everywhere. Steve Allen?
Yeah. Thank you, Arlene. It doesn't feel right to me somehow. And on my left, the lovely lady of radio and television whose column appears in 4 billion newspapers from coast to coast, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
Thank you, Steve. And on my left, last but most confusing, are charming, literate, amusing, and mixing up type moderator John Daly.
Well, as you can all see, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to What's My Line. And as you can all see, we've shaken up the batting order tonight. We also trust we can shake up the panel with some guests who have come here and brought with them some very interesting occupations. We trust the shaking up of the batting order will give our guests an even better run than they usually have, and they'll carry home some prizes. We'll have a famous guest challenger before the panel a bit later, but right now, to get things rolling, it's time for the experts to meet our first challenger whose job they have to spot. So will you sign in, please, ma'am? Sidell or Seidel? Sidell Shaw, is that right? I haven't had anybody run away from me for a long time. I can't look that frightening. They look much more frightening than I do. Where are you from? Is it
New York.
Miss or Mrs.? Miss Shaw, you're from New York, huh? Mm-hmm. Well, then those are practically neighbors, so you don't have to be afraid of them. Would you go over and say hello to them?
Hello,
Hi.
I have Dorothy's place. I have to look at your hands and a label in your dress.
All right, Miss Shaw, will you come over here, please, and sit down next to me? I think we'll get Bennett back in his place by next week. All right, now, Miss Shaw, at this point, I think you know they get one free guess as to what your line may be, and tonight we're going to begin the free guesses with Mr. Bennett Cerf.
I think Miss Shaw makes eye patches for Zaza Gabor.
Miss Francis.
I think Miss Shaw is a harpist.
A harpist, Mr. Allen.
I think she makes lockets.
Miss Kilgallen.
I think she models junior miss dresses.
No, I'm afraid not. We'll let our viewers have another look at Miss Sidell Shaw, and at the same time, we will tell them what her line is, but the panel is going to have to dig. Now, Miss Shaw, we've shaken up the batting line over there, but we haven't shaken up the rules at all. Every time you can give them a no answer, why, we'll flip a card, and 10 flips, and they're a flop, or you've won the game. All set? All right, Miss Shaw is salaried. With that, let's begin the general questioning with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Miss Shaw, do you work for a profit-making organization?
Yes.
Does your attractive appearance assist you in the work you do?
No.
It's not vital nor necessary, though I must say it's very pleasant. 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Miss Shaw, is there a product involved in what you do?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I mean that sometimes there is no product involved in what you do.
Yes.
Do you require any special kind of training for the job that you do?
Yes.
Would this be training that you would secure in some kind of an institution of learning?
Yes.
Would you, when you graduate from this course, or whatever it is that you take, do you get some kind of a degree?
Yes.
You do? Is it a college degree?
Yes.
Would it be a degree that is not just a general scholastic degree, but some kind of a special course that you take for the work that you do?
Yes, it's a special course that you take for the work Yeah.
Would the special course be in the nature of a graduate school that you would do after you had completed a regular scholastic training?
Yes.
Something like a law school or a medical school? I didn't say it had to be that. I meant it's something like that.
Well, I mean, you are using the terminology graduate school,
Yes.
and this would fall
Yes.
within the classification of graduate schooling, yes.
Well, when you get this special degree, do you ever appear in courts?
In
No.
courts of law, you mean?
Courts of law.
Let's make it
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
What other courts are but
Tennis court.
Tennis court, yes. First of the year, after all.
do you have a title of some kind, other than just your name, Siddle Shaw?
Yes.
Would it be a doctor's title?
Yes.
Are you known as Dr. Shaw sometimes?
Yes.
You are a doctor?
I
But
feel
you're so
terrible.
young. Now, you specialize in a particular field?
Yes.
Is this field that you specialize in children?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Allen.
It's big people, huh? Good for you. Are you a something other than a general practitioner, an MD? Are you employed at one of the local hospitals, by any chance?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Do you ever appear in an operating room?
Small conference is necessary. Be back in about an hour.
John's getting sicker every minute over here.
They're plotting against me, I can see it.
All right.
John's talking about shall he have an operation?
We're going to say no, because I think the terminology operating room is very clear in both of our minds, although it might be a little unclear in all of yours. That makes it 5 down and 5 to go, Mr.
Bennett,
Cerf.
then you know what it is.
Dr. Shaw, you certainly don't look like any horse doctor I ever saw, but are you by any chance a doctor to some kind of an animal?
No.
6 down and 4 to go, Miss Francis.
Are you interested in the head?
Yes.
And what goes on inside the head?
To some degree, aren't we? Yes.
Yes.
Now, if it's only to some degree, it can't be the brain, because that would be a very big degree. It does not have anything to do with the brain per se.
No.
Does it have anything to do with the choppers?
Yes.
Are you a dentist?
Yes.
Yes.
My goodness.
And I'll tell you something that'll really shake you now. Dr. Shaw specializes in root canal therapy,
Oh.
which should hurt. Well, Dr. Shaw, we gave him a pretty good run. I'm very proud of you, and I hope you had a very good time, because you were a wonderful guest for What's My Line, and thanks for coming to see us. Good night. Well, thanks. We expected Dr. Shaw to throw you completely. We didn't achieve our aim. Let's see what we can do with another challenger. Would you sign in, please, sir? Art Gajor. Is that right? You're where from, Mr. Gajor?
I'm from Chicago, sir.
From Chicago. Well, it's nice to have somebody here from Chicago to help us get the year off to a good start. Would you go over and meet the panel and then come on over and join me, please?
May I feel your muscle?
Oh, surely.
What's on your tie? Is that an oar?
Just in design.
Oh.
Would you like to feel my muscle?
Not mine.
All right. Mr. Gajor, will you come over here and join me, please? And we'll get to the free guess that the panel gets as to what your line may be. We'll begin the free guesses with Mr. Bennett, sir.
I think Mr. Gayshaw is an interior decorator.
An interior decorator, Miss Francis.
I think Mr. Gayshaw writes singing commercials.
Stores in Chicago.
Miss Kilgallen.
He's a clarinet player.
No, I'm afraid not. We'll let our viewers have a further look at Mr. Gajor, and at the same time, we'll tell them what his line is. Can't understand people in Mr. Gajor, but the rules, I think, are known to you. Every no answer you give the panel costs the panel $5. We keep the record of all that right up here. 10 no's and you've won the game. Well, Mr. Gajor is salaried. With that, we'll begin the general questioning with Steve Allen.
Mr. Geisher, is there a product of any kind connected with what you do?
Yes.
All right. Is it something that I might possibly be able to use?
Yes.
Might I have one or more of these in my home?
Yes.
Yeah, you might.
Can't figure out why it's funny if I'd use it. Is this possibly something that I could use,
Yes.
Well, aside from its usefulness, since it seems to be so amusing, does it provide any kind of enjoyment or entertainment or pleasure of any kind?
Yes.
It might be found in the home. Could it possibly be found, say, in a corner of the living room?
Yes.
It could be, yeah.
Is the entertainment that this object provides, would it be called possibly primarily visual entertainment?
Yes.
If you couldn't see it, you wouldn't get much fun out of it.
If I didn't want to go out to the movies, might I sit at home and watch one of these?
Yes. Yes, I'd say so.
Mr. Geisher speaks with much more authority on this matter than I would dare express. But I would say if you didn't go out to the movies, it's barely possible you might sit and look at this for a while, yeah.
And I want to be the first to admit that I'm on the wrong track. And I guess that I'd be way off if I said that if you looked at one of these things long enough, you'd eventually see a Goodson Todman production. Is that true?
That would be wrong, yes. We'll give you a no on that. 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Well, is this something that could be found in anybody's home, not just Steve's?
Yes.
It's possible that it could be found in a great many homes. Let's put it that way.
Is it a luxury rather than a necessity of life?
There are certain aspects of the product under discussion which might be determined to have certain necessary qualifications.
Qualified yes?
You get a qualified yes.
Is it smaller than a bread box?
Yes, I think so.
But it's bigger than a pill box.
Yes. You couldn't get it into a pill box, I wouldn't think,
No.
could you? No.
Is this thing, or has it ever been alive?
No, it has not been alive. 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
I was just thinking, I've heard of geisha girls. This is the first geisha boy I've come across in a long time. That's been taking up my time thinking of that. This thing is absolutely inanimate, in other words, that you're connected with.
Yes.
Is it made of any kind of material?
Yes.
Would you describe it as an article, possibly of furniture or decoration in the house?
It's 2 points. 1, material we presume to mean matter of some kind. 2, it could be considered decorative, I would think, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir. It could be considered decorative. It is not made of some kind of cloth, I presume, then. It is not made of cloth.
Yes, it is not made of cloth, no.
Is it made of any kind of... Is there any metal in the construction of this?
Yes.
Is it connected... Dorothy looks very bright at this point.
Don't say it yet. You finish.
Does this thing, by any chance, have any moving parts?
Yes.
Is this used for amusement of any kind?
No, I don't think so. Not basically. That's 3 down and 7 to go, and we'll give you 1 more minute on this one. Miss Francis.
Did you say that this does not or could not hold anything alive? Is that correct?
It is
Inanimate. But did you also say that nothing alive would ever be in this object?
No, we didn't say that. Would you like to ask that question?
I may just as well. You've trapped me. Can anything alive go inside of this object?
That would make it 4 down and 6 to go. We've got about 40 seconds. Steve Allen.
It's a household furnishing, huh?
Well, in a way.
What's so funny about a household furnishing? What are you all laughing at out there? You know something. Could you buy this at a department store? Meaningless question.
I would think not. That's 5 down and 5 to go, and I'm going to call the whistle on the basis of the passage of time, and Mr. Gager will get the full prize, because you see, he sells Marilyn Monroe calendars. Get the full prize. And our thanks for bringing a very interesting occupation to What's My Line. Thank you very much, sir. Good night. All right, in just a moment, we'll meet tonight's mystery. Now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity. The panel would recognize our guest immediately, and they are provided with blindfolds on that account. Are those blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes.
Good. Will you come in, Miss Preacher? Panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery challenger, we dispense with all of the usual preliminary questioning, get right down to the general and basic questioning, and we'll begin it tonight with Mr. Bennett Cerf.
Well, I judge that your face is familiar to the public because of the applause that greeted your appearance. Does your picture appear in the paper occasionally?
Yep. You're a man.
That's true. Would you, by any chance, be in the sporting world of some kind?
No. 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Francis.
But you are used to appearing before the public. Would you consider yourself a public figure? Are you known to people all over the United States?
You mean all 160 million?
No, but I mean, are you a personality that is well known to all, like Clark
I would
Gable?
say that our guest tonight is well known to the degree that anyone has a national reputation or a national identification, yes.
Oh. Are you a national figure? By that I mean, do you have something to do with the nation as opposed to the entertainment world?
Well, that's the beauty, isn't it? We can flip a card in that for good. 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Allen.
There could be 2 reasons why Arlene got a no on that, and I don't know what either of them is. So now that I think it over, I'll probably take the wrong one. Am I correct in assuming that you are not an actor?
Right.
Well, that's what I said.
That's what I thought you said.
Well, we can all get together after the show. Are you, you're not an actor, you're not a sport. Are you in, very loosely speaking, or even tightly, the political arena?
Yes.
Well, then the other reason, or the other reason that Arlene must have gotten a no is on the word national. Are you a political figure on some other basis, either state or local?
Yes.
By George, I feel smart tonight.
Oh.
Let me see. Up to now, I feel smart. Don't anybody go away. Oh, dear. Have you been elected?
Yes.
Have you been elected to office within the past 5 years?
Yes.
You've been doing all right. Have you been elected to office within the past 2 years?
Yes.
Are you smaller than a bread bottle?
I've just 2 more questions. One is, do you know where Judge Crater is? No. I only have one name in mind. Are you Mayor-elect Wagner?
That's right. Arlene, I didn't mean to be difficult, but at the same time, I didn't want to mislead the panel and get you into the area of a national office, which is why I was fencing with you so much.
It's quite all right, John. Anything to keep the mayor on as long as possible.
Nice to have the mayor with us, and I must say, sir, that we appreciate that your job, next to that of the presidency and one or two of the more difficult governorships, is about as difficult a chore as the public can put on the shoulders of one man.
I agree with that, John.
I'm sure you do.
Could I ask Mr. Mayor a question, John?
Yeah, sure.
What are you going to do about the traffic around here, Mr. Mayor?
Now, listen, the mayor's here to have some fun with us, Bennett.
We'll take care of it.
Actually, the mayor's here on something that is much more important than traffic, and without any further ado, I will ask you to tell us what it is, sir.
Well, very briefly, John, I had hoped that we could have raised a little more money through my appearance for the March of Dimes because I wanted to contribute to the...
That's easy. That's easy.
The March of Dimes, and... The drive starts tomorrow, not only here in New York City, but throughout the entire country. And we're very happy that one of the panel here, Mr. Steve Allen, will be the master of ceremonies. Maybe that's why he did so well tonight. At City Hall tomorrow to get the drive underway here, and I know the citizens of New York, as always, will contribute in great fashion to a wonderful and worthy cause.
I'm sure they will, sir, and our thanks to you for being our guest and for coming down to see us. And let me just say one word. You know, the fight against polio has been going on a long time. It would seem now that we're on the verge of very great things. So you need to give more to the March of Dimes this year than you ever did before, because we mustn't let victory slip from our grasp. They're finding a vaccine. They need the support of every single one of us. And now let's see what the panel can do in a very short 3 minutes with another challenger. Will you sign in, please, ma'am? Gela, is it Gela or Jella? Gela Block. Is that right? You stay here with me for just a minute. Is it Miss or Mrs.?
Miss.
Miss Block? Miss Block, and where are you from?
I'm from New York.
You're from New York. Look at the panel. Panel, look at Miss Block. You come with me. And you sit down right here, if you will. We haven't got time for the panel to really get a much closer look at you, but we'll let them have their usual free guess, although they know you very briefly. Mr. Cerf.
I think Miss Block runs a delicatessen shop.
A delicatessen. Miss Francis.
I think she strings pearls.
Mr. Allen.
I think Miss Block is here looking for Hal.
Miss Kilgallen.
I think that Miss Block sells nylons.
No, I'm afraid not. We'll let our viewers have another look at Miss Block. At the same time, we'll tell them what her line is. All right, panel. You have exactly 2 minutes to find out what Miss Block does. Miss Block, you know the rules. We keep the score right up here. With Arlene Francis.
Do you work for a profit-making organization, Miss Block?
Yes.
Is there any product involved in what you do?
Yes.
Is it a product that can be found in the home?
Yes.
Is it a useful product?
Yes.
Is it found in any particular part of the house, as a rule?
Yes.
Yes.
Would it be found in the kitchen?
Yes.
Is this product by any chance edible?
Yes.
Would one buy it in a grocery store?
Yes.
Is it animal product?
Partly.
Partly.
Well, she must make animal crackers if you say it like that. It's partly animal. Then is this a mixture of things, this product?
Yes.
It has several ingredients.
It has several ingredients.
Yes.
Would it be found in a meat market, too?
Really? Why? Let's give her a no. Now,
All right.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Allen.
And
Now,
the
30
vegetable
seconds.
part predominates, is that right?
The vegetable part predominates, is that right?
Is this vegetable part perhaps one of the grains?
Yes.
I don't particularly care which one. Is it something you could eat as a main course? If you...
I wouldn't think not as a main course. 2 down and 8 to go. You got time for about one question,
Is
Dorothy.
this ever eaten by animals?
I don't think
Is this,
so.
can I take it, is this is anything kind of a bread product?
We're flipping the lid. We haven't got time, Bennett, so we can't let you go to the thing because Dorothy was doing the questioning. This block gets the full prize because time ran out, and actually she makes matzo balls. We've had a lot of fun with that one. But thanks for being our guest on What's My Life. Nice to have you. We'll be back in just... Until next week, this is John Daly saying good night, Bennett.
I'm glad to know that the right side of your profile is just as pretty as the left. Good night, Arlene.
Thank you. Nice to have you off the yacht. And good night, Steve.
Good night, boys, and good night, Dorothy.
Good night, John.
And good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being with us on What's My Line.
This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. In association with the CBS Television Network.